Hello everyone, welcome to Code Dynamics. So in this video, we are going to see how to install the Rust compiler, write our first Hello World program, and a few arithmetic operations using Visual Studio Code as the IDE. If you want to follow with a different IDE, it's up to you. I'm just going to give it as a recommendation. So to install the Rust, we are going to visit this website, rust-lang.org/tools/install. So here we will be getting this button to install the 64-bit compiler. And if you are using Linux or a Mac, then you can just copy paste this in your terminal and then you can follow along. It should be the same. So I am going to download this compiler. So once I press this, it will ask me for the location. Then you just click on save. So that should download the compiler. It's very low in space. So you can open this location, double click on the file. So it will open this terminal page. From here, it will be same for both Linux, Mac OS also. It will just say welcome to Rust. This will download and install the official compiler for the Rust programming language and its package manager named Cargo. So it is saying that it will install in these locations. So all that you have to know. And if you want to proceed with the default location, then you just have to type 1 and press enter. Then if you want to do a customized installation, then you have to type 2. But if, by any chance, if you want to cancel the installation, you just have to type 3 and enter. Now I am going with the default. So I'll press 1 and then press enter. I have already installed the compiler, so it took me very less time. But since you are doing it for the first time, it will take slightly bit more time. So allow it to get installed. Then you will see this press the enter key to continue message or something similar. Then you have to press enter. It will close the terminal. That's it for the installation of the compiler, the Rust compiler. Now we can work on our IDE. So if you do not have the Visual Studio Code already, you just go to code.visualstudio.com and download it for Windows or whatever OS you are using. Install it, then you can follow along. So it should be the same for all the operating systems. So I'm opening my Visual Studio Code. Before we do anything like writing programs, I just want to make a few modifications in the settings and install a few extensions. So now let's do that. First, you can press this button, the extensions. Here you first type code, and in the suggestions, you will get this code runner, this icon. Then you will be seeing install button here. I have already installed, so it's not showing for me. Then you just press on install and it will get installed very quickly. So that's the first extension. The second is the Rust Analyzer. Search for Rust and you will get this Rust Analyzer. Again, you just have to install it. It will be quick. Once you install that, you search for LLDB and you will get this one. So install this code LLDB, and that is all the extension that we have to install. So once the installation of extension is done, you click on this bottom left corner, the manage button, then go to the settings and search for autosave. Okay, in the autosave, you change to after delay. If it is off, then you put 1000 milliseconds. Then you search for message. So here you can see the show execution message, and usually it will be turned on by default, but I don't like it, so I'm turning it off. It's a personal preference. If you want to turn it off, you can turn it off. It will just make your output look cleaner. So you can turn it off if you want that. Otherwise, you can leave it to default. It's not a big deal. Okay, now the setup is done. You can close the settings and extension. Then you press on the Explorer. Okay, now by default, there will be not any folder which is open. So we are going to create a folder and open it here. So for that, I'm going to any location that you want, and I'm going to create a new folder. You can name it whatever you want, and all you have to do is just drag, go here, and then drop it in the left panel. So the scripts, the folder which I just created, is open here now. Okay. Now if I want to create a new file, which I definitely have to do to write a program, I just have to press this button. It will create a new file. Now it's asking for a name. It will get created inside this folder. So this is going to be our first program. So let's see, hello world.rs. Then you can see that the Rust symbol is appearing here, a cute little icon, and press enter and it will open the hello world.rs. Now we are ready to write our first program, which is the hello world program. So in Rust, everything exists within the main function. So the syntax is fn space main parenthesis and the curly braces. Inside this, to write our print statement, we have to write the print argument, which is the print ln, then an exclamation mark, open the parenthesis, put double quotes. So here you can write hello world. Then don't forget the semicolon if you are a Python programmer. Once this is done, just have to press this button, run code. Okay. Then this output window will open and yay, we have done our first hello world program. Okay. So if you did not turn that off, you will be seeing a lot of messages like the location and different parameters that was involved in running this program. Now it is just clean because we turned off that setting. Okay, so that's it for writing our hello world program. Now what you have to notice here is it has created hello world.exe and hello world.pdb. So those come with the compilation of the program which you're writing. So it is creating all of these in the same location where your program is stored. Okay. Now let's say I want to do a few mathematical expression, arithmetic expressions. So I will create a new file called math.rs. Now let's open this. We are just going to use the print statement. Okay, now let's type our first main function, the usual stuff. Okay, here we are going to type our println exclamation mark, don't forget it, open the quotes, and here let's say I want to add 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2, then you have to put this curly braces, open and close it. Okay, let's put an equal sign. Okay, and after the quotation put a comma, space, then you have to type the expression that you have to evaluate, 1 plus 2. Okay, then put the semicolon, and if you want to clear the output, all you have to do is just press this button, clear output, and then press this button, and yes, we have got the right answer, I suppose. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, we have got it. Okay, now let's do the same for subtraction. So I'll make a generic looking line because we are going to do this multiple times, and I will just copy this. Okay, now let's do 4 minus 3 minus 3, sorry, my bad, has to be outside the curly braces. 4 minus 3 is equal to, then ask the compiler to evaluate. So you can put with spaces, without spaces, everything is the same. So I like to write my code neat, so I'm going to put minus 3 separately. Then let's do some multiplication. Okay, 5 times 6 is equal to 5 times 6. Then same for our division, let's do 10 by 5 is equal to 10 by 5. Okay, then if you're already familiar with programming, then you know the modulo sign. So basically it will just give us our reminder after the evaluation. So I'll do 11 percentage 3 is equal to 11 percentage 3. This should give the reminder. Okay, now let's clear the output and run the code. Yes, we are able to see everything just as expected. Now if you want to comment all of these, okay, and all you have to do is just select all of these, hold control and then press forward slash. It will comment. If you want to uncomment it, then you just select all the lines that you want to uncomment and then do the same, control plus forward slash, and then it will just uncomment. Okay, if you want to do it for a single line, just go to whichever line you want and then do control forward slash. If you want to remove the comments, then again control forward slash. That's no big deal. Okay, now let's say I just want to comment all of these. comment it. I'll go to new line. Now let's say I want to calculate power of something like 5 cube, 5 power 3 or 5 power 5. Then what do I do? I'll go to println, don't forget the exclamation, and let's say I want to do 5 power 6 maybe is equal to, yeah, is equal to, sorry, comma, we have to do a syntax which is the I32, which means integer 32, two colons, just like C++, what you do in C++ if you are familiar with it. Then you have to type POW, which is the function to calculate the power. Then what I have to do is 5 comma 6 because I want to calculate 5 power 6 in the semicolon. Now I'll clear the output and run this. So we are getting this. I'm not sure whether that is correct or not. It should be correct, but I just don't know. I'll do something like this. Yeah, it's correct. So we did the right thing. Okay, so this is for integer I32 and we are just passing this function to it. Okay. Now, let's say you want to evaluate a big expression. You might be already familiar with the PEMDAS, right? So if you're from Asia, you will know it as BODMAS, PEMDAS or BODMAS, which is like the brackets of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. This is the order of mathematical operations that will be done when you write a program. So let's say you are a Python programmer, you might be familiar with something like this. You'll open the print statement, then inside that you will just write whatever expression you want to do. Say 100 by 10 times 6 plus 9 minus 5 modulo 1, maybe something like this. Okay. So in generally Python, if you want to evaluate this expression, you will just type it, press enter. But in Rust it won't happen. It will throw an error, but thankfully it is also giving you the solution. It is saying this is missing. So if you remember, this is the same as this. So you don't just pass in the evaluation, the expression. You also have to pass in the string where it has to get printed. I have to type this, the curly braces within the quotation followed by a comma, and then I have to run it. Then it will give me the answer, right? So now let's say I just want to comment this also. I'll run it. Yeah, we got the right answer. If you like this video so far, consider subscribing to the channel or maybe dropping a like, or if you have any questions or suggestions, please drop it in the comments. Thank you for watching. See you in another video.